live right now. We are now live.
Right.
What's going on, everybody? ODC, and I'm here with ActionFigureJunky today.
Hello.
And I tried to do this stream last night. It was just not going to happen. I've been trying to do this stream for 2 days with ActionFigureJunky, and he was patient enough with me to hold out until tonight. And for some reason, I don't know how technology works, apparently.
Me neither.
But, thank you to Kyle, Action Figure Addict 112, for helping me out and getting this all set up through StreamYard. So if you guys have any issues, StreamYard's really easy to use and all that. So it linked right up. It took 2 seconds to do, and I should everything is working well now. So
Yay.
They
should be a sponsor.
I know, right? I should. Just gave them a free plug. Now give me stuff for free.
Right.
But yeah, this is something different because I've never used this software before. But it seems to be working well. And you have a beer, I believe, right?
I do. It's Friday night.
Isn't it? It sounds like a good idea. I'm going to grab one myself.
Hell yeah. A beer and toys.
Beers and toys. That's right.
Not a good Friday night.
Get crack-a-lackin'. So we have ActionFigureJunky here, and I'm kind of waiting for people to kind of pop in. Go ahead and post comments, everybody, if you want to. You have any questions for ActionFigureJunky or for me or whatever. But there we go. See if that worked. Okay. And of course, my puppy is starting to bark. Great. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you're all about, what you do?
What am I all about? I'm all about the toys. Just huge action figure fan since childhood, since I was about 5. I'm 45 this year, so some time. Started collecting with Star Wars toys, like most people my age probably did. Then once G.I. Joe hit the market, that was a game changer because their points of articulation were much better than Star Wars, and I was pretty much took for life. A lot of people grow out of that phase, but I never really did, and never really will at this point. I mean, I'll probably be, buried with action figures because I am a junkie for them. I am addicted to them. They're like plastic crack for me, and they're so much fun. G.I. Joe, Marvel. My main collections are G.I. Joe, and by G.I. Joe I mean now not really Hasbro, but more Marauder Task Force customs that I make to resemble or replace my classic G.I. Joe favorites of my youth. And Marvel Legends, I'm a big fan. I just started collecting those avidly, I'd say, within the last 18 months, and they're really cool. A few other things, a couple of NECA, horror, Gundam 4-inch action figures, kind of all over the place, but those are what I mostly collect. And love to take pictures of them.
Well, it's fun. I mean, it's good to have that outlet, especially now with all this bullshit going on.
Exactly.
To be able to have something to dive into and waste some time while there's so much time to be wasted. Yeah. And I mean, even if you're having a stressful day, it's nice to just come home and dick around with toys and.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it.
The
way I look at it, some people restore furniture, or some people restore old cars. Like my father, he's a super mechanical, super handy. He could pretty much build or fix anything known to man. I didn't get that gene. Kind of passed me over. So for me, it's creating action figures and taking pictures of them is a big artistic outlet. I'm kind of an artistic type where I like to create and create things, and this is a great artistic outlet.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I went to an art school,
Right.
so I'm the same way. I like to create, and if I don't, I start going nuts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
If you don't have an outlet, it can make you miserable.
yeah, absolutely miserable. Exactly.
Whatever the outlet may be, it could be sculpting, it could be spray painting on walls.
Yeah.
I don't know if that where it's legal, but whatever your outlet is, it can keep you sane.
Yes, exactly. So it's good to have that outlet. What would you say is your so you brought up Joe's, obviously. We mostly ActionFigureJunky and I mostly do customs. He does a little bit more of the painting and stuff like that. I'm just starting to get into that. I mostly just do mix and match, part swap, stuff like that. There's only a few figures where I've done like painting and such. He does more of the painting.
Yeah, well, I will be the first to admit, like I'm not a great. My painting is kind of minimal. If it's an easy paint, I'm willing to try it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do a lot of dry brush painting.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need much skill or talent to be able to do that. That's fairly simple, but little details. I'm good at painting little details, but for like painting an overall figure, my problem is I don't have very good eyesight. I need the magnifying glasses, and I don't have a very steady hand. So I do paint some, but like you, if I can mix and match it, I'd much rather do that.
Yeah, I'd much rather do it too. But I mean, like it's like it gets frustrating for me because that's why I got to try a little bit harder with the painting, because I'll get like a G.I. Joe figure and I'll get an idea in my head of something, or using the parts, or a Marauders figure, or even a Joy Toy figure. The Joy Toy figures almost kind of have their own paint apps for themselves, so you don't really need to do too much with painting with those if you're going to part swap. And that's the good thing about Joy Toy, is that they're swappable with Marauders and Joes and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Wait, you're educating me now. What is this? What is Joy Toy? How do I know?
Oh, you don't know about Joy Toy, huh?
No. What's Joy Toy?
You're gonna fall in love all over again. Okay, so picture.
Is it like joytoy.com or?
No, it's you can. Here, I think I can screen share it. Let me see.
They're another company that makes customizable action figures?
No, they are a third party. Well, they're not really a third party. Well, I guess they are. They're an overseas kind of, think of like overseas G.I. Joe, right? But better articulation, better range of motion, better paint detail, better sculpts. They have anything from like futuristic stuff like 3 3/4 inch scaled mechs, like big mech suits, like think like Titanfall mech suits, right? To they're just starting to do like Jeeps and stuff like that, or little like Vamps and stuff like that.
Oh no!
If you
another place is going to
Google Joy Toy, it'll come up.
Oh shit! Joy Toy, huh?
Yeah, Joy Toy action figures. If you just click on images, you'll see a whole plethora of different. They have full teams that they come out with. They had a U.S. Marine Corps team. They had a Navy SEAL team. They had a Airborne team. They had like a SWAT team. There's a bunch, and now they're just going through all the PLA, which is all the Chinese military teams too. So it's pretty cool. They're a little bit more expensive. They're like, if you get the teams, I think they're like 5 of them are around $82 for the whole team.
But how many figures is it?
5. It's 5 figures. So it's about $15 a figure.
Oh, yeah, man, that's good.
But they have separate ones where like they'll have a team of 3, but they give you more accessories and they'll charge you a little bit more. So it'll be like for a team of 3 with more accessories and stuff and a different kind of stylization, they'll charge a little bit more. So it'll be like $82 for the 3 figures. Sometimes they have single carded figures where they're like $30 a pop. So they kind of range differently. It all depends on kind of your budget. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, you don't have to with Joy Toy.
Okay.
So that's the good thing. You can kind of find your niche within it. But I did a couple of reviews a couple months ago on just a couple. Some of them, like I said, some of them you can get actually separated on, I think, what was it, eBay? If you search eBay, you can probably find them for like $20 each if you don't want to buy the whole team.
Well, I know what I'll be doing as soon as we're done with this call. I'll be totally distracted. Yeah, whatever. Joy Toy.
Oh, so yeah, it's they're definitely quality figures. They're definitely worth the price and worth going down the rabbit hole for. Just kind of think of them as like G.I. Joe on steroids.
Well, that's kind of just, I guess, to maybe jump into Marauder. That's kind of what I think of them as, because I remember the first Marauder I bought, I was God knows, I must have had a couple of hundred G.I. Joes. Now, I should preface this by saying I'm one of the strange action figure collectors in that I don't know if you're like this, but to me, action figures are kind of like electronics.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't really have much nostalgia for the action figures of my youth. I like looking at maybe some pictures of them. But for instance, I have maybe one or two 80s era G.I. Joes, because I'm more like, once I touch, hold, manipulate, take a picture of a modern era figure that's technology is so much more advanced, I can't really step back. Now, not to say I don't dig old school Joes or anybody that has them. If you've got 400, 82 to 94 Joes, and that's your jam, it's all good. I don't care. But I just have this weird thing where, especially, I think a lot of it is because of taking pictures. Like, I personally think the newer the figures, the better they are to photograph, because they just look more scale to a human being's body. Obviously, you can pose them better. You can you can move their. Oh, that was weird.
Yeah.
You can move their wrists. You can point their toes. It's easier to pose in good, dramatic, awesome dramatic poses. So I don't go back, and every time something new comes along, I'll typically sell what I have to get it. So my collection of G.I. Joes, when I first found Marauder, consisted, I'd say 99% of 25th anniversary and after. 25th anniversary probably through what, Pursuit of Cobra or
Retaliation.
The movie ones, a couple of movie ones. So got my first Marauder Task Force, and I was so impressed with the posability and the quality that over the course of the last couple years, I've made it my mission to replace all my G.I. Joes with Marauder Task Force bodies, and it's become kind of an obsession.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just something you're passionate about, and I get the same feeling too. Like I constantly will come downstairs every day. I'll look at my collection and I'll be like, who am I missing here? What has not been released before, or what is out of my grasp as far as budget from like the FSS club? Like, I have a whole FSS series that I've been doing where the ones I can't afford or ones I can't find, I just make through Marauders. It's because it's fucking, because half the FSS figures aren't that great. They're really not that great.
Half, honestly, dude. I'm going to say more like 80% kind of fucking suck. And okay, full disclosure, caveat: no matter what I say about Hasbro in this meeting, no matter what shit I talk, I'm going to be open and honest and be like, you know what? I'm sorry if I'm that passionate and I have negative things to say. It's only because they birthed my love of action figures, and the original G.I. Joe line from 82 up until, I would say, 93, because the 94 line was complete shit. But let's give credit where credit is due. the entire
there's a lot of shit in between too. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and then once they started up again in let's say '02, I collected the shit out of those. So if I talk shit about Hasbro, it's only because of love. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it's natural to give constructive criticism where it's due, and there's nothing wrong with just liking the evolution of the action figure.
Right.
If other people like the old stuff better, great for you. To me, like you were saying, like a bunch of other people that I've had this discussion with have said, it's like you said with technology. It's modern figures are just with not. I don't even think it's arguably. They are 10. They are just so much better up and down, top to bottom, left, right, whichever way you want to look at it. There's no way that anyone can sit here and tell me that a little potato person that's disproportionate and the hands snap and break and everything's brittle and you got O-rings and you got things that just break and fall apart, torso pieces that just disintegrate.
Or broken crotches. Yeah.
Broken crotches. And it's a product. They're a product of their time. And that's fine if people like them and they're passionate about it. Yeah. I still have a lot of vintage Joes from when I was a kid. I still have them. I bought a few more because they're just my favorite characters, and I have them just because of sentimental value. So I have some vintage Joes. I can appreciate them for their time, but you can't compare them to modern Joes. And I see a lot of people doing that, and I'm like, you can't compare. It's like comparing the dial-up internet to what we have now. It's not comparable.
No,
you wouldn't say dial-up, would you? You wouldn't say dial-up was better. No, you wouldn't, because you know the flaws it has. So it's just like that.
If they had left such an impact on my life, would I have gone out of my way to spend? I hold it. Where's my camera? I hold this up to you. I know you know who this is immediately.
Yeah.
Because it's my mission to make you be able. Shit. My mission is to make a Joe fan be able to recognize from here who this is.
Yeah.
On first glance, because I want to recreate the aesthetic of what greatly affected me so much. So when I seek out to replicate classic Joes, it's because they left such an indelible mark on my heart. When I spend, these aren't kids' toys. God damn it! No. Making this figure probably cost me out of pocket like $40. Because I had to take parts from the Hasbro 25th anniversary MUT and buy all the Marauder parts. But, man, when I was 9 years old, my dad walked me up to a store called KB Toy Stores. Did they have those where you grew up?
Oh, yeah.
All over the country, yeah. They've been long gone. But my dad walked me up to a store, and he bought me Mutt and Junkyard in, like, 84. Mm-hmm. And because of that, that will always be a figure that is near and dear to my heart. So having this now, because the 25th anniversary Mutt and Junkyard were not a very... I had a lot of problems with it. I have no problems with this guy. This is like a little piece of nostalgia wrapped in a modern era figure that has all the bells and whistles of a modern era figure.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like... like I said, it's an action figure evolution, to coin Glenn Webb, it's cool to be able to kind of be the age that we are now while this is all going on.
Yeah,
which will kind of bring me to my next topic. And I've talked to Strident about this. I've talked to a bunch of other people about this, but I want to know what your opinion is. What's your opinion on the 6-inch G.I. Joe line?
I'm glad you asked. Sorry if my chair is making noise. It's a bit older, but...
You're fine.
Okay. I don't really care what other people think. Mm-hmm. Negative, positive, it's not really... It doesn't matter to me. I think it is the natural evolution. It doesn't surprise me that they did this, and I'll be honest with you. I have been collecting shit figures that you may find at toy stores or Target that have what are clearly 1/12, yeah, 6-inch scale weapons. I've been buying them for the last 2 or 3 years and kind of storing them away because I had a feeling this was going to be coming from a long time ago. I have a pretty good cache of weapons that I'm ready to throw on these 6-inch Joes that I have pre-ordered and am. Can I cuss?
Yeah, go ahead. Feel free. I don't.
Can't fucking wait to get. Like I said, I'm a big Marvel Legends fan, and so okay. I'm always gonna have. I'm pointing to my collection right here. Maybe if let's see, can we? I will always have those. I will never get rid of them. They will always be there. If they never make a 4-inch or 3 3/4-inch GI Joe again, that's kind of sad. But I'm excited about the 6-inch. Yeah. I'm all on board with it. As a photographer, that or action figure photography being my big passion, I got to tell you, man, photographing 6-inch figures is great. Yeah. 3 3/4-inch figures for me, it's kind of they're just, it's hard to explain. Maybe I'm not that good of a photographer. Maybe I'm not getting the best out of my muse. I don't know, but unless they're really good figures, they don't quite photograph as well as 6-inch because they're just a little bit bigger. They typically have a little bit more better points of articulation, a little bit better detail. Maybe their facial expression. I mean, some of these Marvel Legends, I'm looking over here at my Marvel Legends, some of these head sculpts and these faces, oh my God, they photograph so amazing. And like an old 1987 Joe, if you took out the nostalgia, let's say you just showed it to a person who had lived under a rock for 35 years. You were to show them a picture of somebody, you took a picture of like, you know, an Alpine. Then you showed them a picture of like, hold on. You showed them a picture taken of that. Look at the face sculpt on that. Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. Yeah. So there's just a bit more detail, more true to life with 6-inch, and I'm super on board. But like pretty much everybody I've seen online, my only gripe with the 6-inch Joes is, what the fuck is that gun they gave Roadblock? What are we in a fucking a PlayStation 2 video game? That thing sucks. I've already got a nice big like M60 waiting for him. So yeah. I mean, that was a very long answer to your question.
When it comes,
sorry, I rambled.
Oh no, you're fine. No, you're fine. Ramble on. When it comes to the 6-inch Joes, and I've said this before, I understand that, you know, G.I. Joe's gone from 12-inch to 3 3/4-inch and now to 6-inch. It's just going to happen. It was going to happen. Yeah. What was it? I spoke about this a few years ago, before this was even a thought about, and I'm sure a lot of people did. I'm sure a lot of people noted, you know, oh, this would be a great idea. And I think I was talking to Jose from Big Boy Collectibles in Strident at the time. We were all kind of discussing, you know, what would happen if they did 6-inch Joes. And it seemed like a decent idea at the time. I had some gripes with it, just because the only reason I have gripes with it is because I know how Hasbro likes to do their business, and sometimes they do fucked up business, and they do their HasLab shit, and I'm not a big fan of the HasLab stuff. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's overpriced, and I don't think it's
the what?
The HasLab stuff that they've done, like the big Jabba sail barge and
like play sets and vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, because you're not going to really have that with 6-inch Joes, and if they do give it to you, it's going to be like $100 for a vamp. If you really want to spend $80 to $100 for a vamp.
Yeah, I can't argue with this at all. This is totally true. Like, it's just going to be figures. I mean, I'm looking at my I got a cool Ghost Rider motorcycle. I mean, but here's I have I don't know 50 or 60 or 80 figures, and of that, one or two of them have a vehicle.
That's what I'm saying.
Joe's are vehicles. I mean, right?
Sure, 6-inch figures, like you pointed out, they might be better as far as camera friendly. They might be better as far as updated with sculpt and stuff like that. Well, we don't know. We haven't seen anything other than Joy Toy figures, Marauders Task Force, Chicken Fried Toys, which is not really, it is what it is. It's its own niche. It's Western figures, but 3 3/4-inch figures are. It's different. It's harder to get the sculpt, or not the sculpt, but the paint perfect on a 3 3/4-inch as opposed to a larger head sculpt. It's a little bit easier, more to work with.
True.
Especially with real life scans now, they can do that. But the major focus that you're never going to get a USS Flag. You're never going to get any of these big play sets. You're never going to get the Joe headquarters. You might not even get a Tomahawk. And a Tomahawk would probably cost you $200 because look how much the Hasbro 6-inch scale TIE fighter was. That thing was grossly overpriced and no one bought it.
How much was that? Do you remember?
When I was actually at a part-time job at Toys R Us when it was selling, and I think it was like $179, which was yeah, it was crazy, and no one was buying it, and that was the major problem, was that no one was buying it. You had all this overstock. We ended up having to drop the price drastically down to like $25. There was Walmarts that were dropping them down to $25, $30. It was insane for a while.
I got one at that price. Damn it.
I mean, I got one because I had an employee discount. I actually got two. I don't know why the hell I got two. I might just sell one now. But, I'm not in the market for spending $200 a pop on one, vehicle.
No. Yeah, I can't argue that. It's when it comes to extraneous things that are not just a figure, I have no idea how that's going to work, if it's going to work, if they'll even try to make them. So, yeah, that's kind of sad because if you really think about it, I mean, vehicles are a big aspect to any military action figure collector.
Yeah.
I don't think we can really get those with a 6-inch.
Yeah, I think if you do, you'll get like a Ram cycle that'll come with someone, like maybe Scarlet or something, or somebody else.
I love that.
You probably get some cycles like they did with Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
It'll probably cost you like $50 to $60 for that and a cycle and a figure. I can see them doing that. If they did a Vamp, it would probably end up costing at least $80. I can't see it being any less than that.
If they do a Vamp and it's $80 though.
Yeah.
Guess who's spending $80 on a Vamp?
I won't. I can't do that.
Oh, I don't. I mean, I can't. I shouldn't. But I think I will.
That's the other point I just kind of wanted to bring up. As far as like you said you didn't like the weapons and stuff, I don't much mind the weapons. Now, here's the reason why.
No, I only don't like Roadblocks. All their other weapons look. But Roadblocks, did you see Roadblocks? That giant railgun, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to have something to do with I think there's going to be like a Netflix show, and I think that's got part to do with it. It's kind of like when a lot of the other G.I. Joes were shown with those laser guns from the 80s.
Uh-huh.
And they all shot lasers and stuff like that. So I've never really had a problem with the evolution of Joe's not quite being on the level of Cobra as far as I guess futuristic tech, but they have like a little bit of futuristic tech. So I guess it doesn't bother me that much. Maybe it's like a prototype weapon that we don't know about, stuff like that. There could be a lot of reasons why. So I guess it doesn't bother me that much. To each their own. I get why people don't like that stuff. But I get it makes sense. I mean, some people actually. Sorry, over myself.
What?
Sorry. I'm talking over myself. I got too many thoughts in my head right now, and I'm trying to spew them all out at once. But a lot of people actually have an issue with the designs themselves of the characters. They don't like them.
Hmm.
Do you have any issues with those?
No, and I'll tell you. I have I have been looking at every friggin' picture that comes across my feed, be it Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, Twitter. I look at every picture I see of those because now a lot of people have them in hand and are taking cool pictures of them. And I got to say, I'm jealous of you motherfuckers. Where are mine? Sorry. It's my second beer. Sorry. I want mine so bad. The design, the Duke. Okay, if they made 6-inch figures and they looked exactly like the 3 3/4 inch, only 6 inches, I would think that was not creative and not innovative. And I like. Okay. What they're doing, I like because I feel like it's kind of similar to what I've been trying to do for the last couple of years, is hit on the aesthetic, but tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't have it look exactly like it used to, but you show me a picture of that 6-inch Duke from 100 feet away, and I go, "Oh, that's Duke."
Yeah.
He's got the tan shirt, the green pants, the blonde hair, the bandolier, and honestly, that's all I really need. Scarlet has red hair. I think her costume is super cool, but there's some aesthetics from the original Scarlet. She's got like a red on her shoulder, I want to say, and I think she might have some stars on her forearm. It's got a lot of that original feel, but obviously with a more updated, modern look. And I think Roadblock is that's based on Roadblock version 2, the kind of the Christmas colors, the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Red, white, and green.
Yeah.
I love the look of the Roadblock. And the Destro, whoever has a problem with that can eat my ass. I'm sorry. That thing looks sick.
I mean, the designs themselves, I definitely don't have an issue with. I heard there was a few people that were like, "Oh, why didn't you just go OG 13 and go 1982?" And I'm like, but that's been done. Like, why are we like? There's some weird thing in the GI Joe community where like people just want the same regurgitated shit over and over again. It's like, it's so boring. Like, if they just constantly gave you the same shit over and over again, like, you want to eat pizza the rest of your life? Sure, I love pizza, but I don't want to eat it every day the rest of my life forever. No, I don't. Like, there's
guaranteed happen.
New designs and stuff.
Here's what I guarantee happened. Hasbro did a ton of probably market research focus groups and showed concept designs of, I would bet, 35 different figures. And those are probably the ones that got the highest response. Because, I mean, there's really no kind of rhyme nor reason to them. I mean, Snake Eyes and Scarlet were in the first OG 13, but their versions of them don't look anything like that. And Roadblock and Duke, I think they probably had at least a top 15 that they showed a market research group, and they probably, based on the aesthetics, got the highest marks. I could be dead wrong, but I kind of have a feeling that might be. It seems like something that a marketing person would come up with. You know what? The only figure. So a good friend of mine who works for a toy company, for my birthday was in late February, kind of when these were being released, and he ordered me the deluxe. He ordered himself and me the deluxe Snake Eyes.
Okay.
A bunch of people got theirs early, and once again, I'm jealous. We're waiting for July for ours.
Okay.
Now that one. Have you seen pictures of it? The deluxe one.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen reviews on it, yeah.
The colors, don't like them. There's too much gray and some brown.
Yeah.
I don't really like the colors. And when I saw what he looks like, I was telling my friend whose name is Scott, I was like, man, I can't wait to take a paintbrush and some black paint to that motherfucker because he's going to come out looking better. However, you see the non-deluxe one, the one that's like if you were to buy a wave of all of them, he's almost all black.
Yep.
He doesn't come with as many cool weapons, but his paints are way better.
Yeah, and that's the thing I've always had with exclusive figures. And I always laugh at Hasbro exclusive figures. Sorry, I got to get in frame here. Hasbro exclusive figures like SDCC, Toy Fair exclusives, any of those. To me, the majority of people are paying for accessories, maybe a couple little paint apps here and there that are different.
Yep.
And packaging.
Right.
Essentially, you're kind of overpaying for packaging and accessories.
You're very much overpaying for packaging. You're paying through the nose overpaying. They're so. Try not to drop too many F-bombs, but they're so goddamn expensive and they're not worth it.
Exactly. They're really, it's not worth it. And the Black Series has been doing this for years, where they take a figure that's not really an exclusive figure, because an exclusive figure to me would define it never being released and being totally different from anything in the line. Now, G.I. Joe has actually done a pretty good job of giving exclusive figures that they don't release in the regular line, and that's it. If you didn't get it, you didn't get it. And that's the end of that.
Right.
And that makes sense. If you want to take a more obscure character, and I'll just use one off the top of my head, like Lightfoot, right? Not a lot of people want Lightfoot, right?
I do.
They didn't like the original color scheme. His Night Force scheme was much better.
Brown and black all day.
But guess what? That's the more rare and more expensive one to find. So if they made an exclusive Lightfoot in Night Force colors, I'm sure a lot of people would want it. But not everyone's going to get it, because guess what? Not enough people want to buy Lightfoot in the store. So that makes sense to do that and then not have to release it in retail. The whole point is that, and when I see these happen, it kind of just annoys the shit out of me when I'm like, it's not really an exclusive. He's just going to be released in the regular line anyway. So just what's the point of even getting it? It's like, just spend the $20 and wait 3 more months. It's like, with exclusives, it just, it drive me up a wall for some reason. But that's my little rant on exclusives. Sorry.
I'm right there with you though, every step.
But like you said, the paint apps are better on the regular release that's coming out. So
yeah, I bet the ironic thing is once I have the deluxe, I'll be like, yeah, I like about 5 of the 30 weapons he comes with, and I'll be like, I should have just got the, what do you call it, standard? I don't know, the regular version.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he does come with like a cool backdrop scene with the cool Japanese ninja. Ugh, so I have a feeling I'm really going to like everything he comes with except for his colors. But like I said, not an expert painter, but I took a good look at him. Even if you were to take kind of a dry brush accent wash painting to the grays and browns, you could make him look way darker and hence I think way cooler. I really wasn't keen on all the gray and brown in him. Did you see that? What did you think?
I guess it's, I don't know. For some reason, maybe it's just me. On the paint apps, I like I said, I tend to like. I agree with you. I like the standard release. I don't mind if it's a little bit off, but the gray stuff kind of reminds me of like a later Snake Eyes. Like,
agreed.
And me personally, I actually like his Commando Snake Eyes head better. The first.
Oh, really?
I like that head better than the visor head. I like that better. I think it looks a little bit, I don't know, a little bit better. And I'm not even a big Snake Eyes fan. Like, I don't give a shit about the character, to be honest with you. But if I have to pick, like, because I think there's more interesting characters. I really do at the end of the day. Because there's only so much you can do with Snake Eyes. He's cool. I get the aesthetic of how he's cool and he's a ninja and his backstory and blah, blah, blah. And all this stuff, I get it. But for me, it's just like he's not my top priority at all. And he's kind of overrated a little bit as far as, because everyone likes him, and it's kind of like the Deadpool effect. You know how everybody likes Deadpool or Spider-Man? And it's like, okay, yeah, we get it. Everyone likes him. Okay, move on.
I always thought, the moment I saw Deadpool, on the comic book store in '92, I was like, wow, somebody decided to merge Spider-Man and Snake Eyes. First thought that went through my head, and I will stay to that until I die. Deadpool is a merging of Spider-Man and Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm saying anything original here.
No, don't say that. That's what I'm saying is like, as as far as but as far as the mask goes, that's just the mask I would prefer. If they ever came out with an alternate head, that'd probably be the only Snake Eyes I really want. If they ever came out with like a Pursuit of Cobra-esque Snake Eyes with
Pursuit of Cobra what?
Like, you know how Pursuit of Cobra came out with the regular plain Pursuit of Cobra, not the desert one that came with Timber. The one where he had kind of straps going between his crotch. The all black one.
I think it had two heads too, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah.
Yeah, both. You get best of both worlds. That was cool.
That would be one that I would get, and that would be the only Snake Eyes I need, and I'm done with it. It's just so, if I want to fit him in with the OG-13, I could do that eventually, but I don't know. As far as the 6-inch stuff goes, like I said it before, I'll say it again. I'm probably only going to get my favorite characters. Like, I'll get Dusty if they ever make a Shadow Tracker.
Oh yeah,
I'll definitely get that.
Is that guy one of your jam?
Yeah. Oh, he's top 5 all day.
Really? Wow.
Top 5.
You had me with Dusty, but I don't know about the Rastafarian.
Oh, he's amazing. It's one of the best modern figures made as far as the G.I. Joe line. It's hands down aces up and down.
I did use pretty much I got him used all of his weapons for other Marauder creations. So I definitely agree with you. Like, all of his accessories and weapons were so cool. I didn't care much for the figure, but to each his own. You said Dusty, so now you'll always have a special place in my heart.
Well, Dusty's my number one. He's been my number one since '86, since I got him, since my mom got him for me, actually. Thank you, Mom. But yeah, I mean,
we both have a memory of it. We have a Joe tied to a memory of our parents.
Yeah, exactly. So, and to me, like, the reason why I like Dusty so much is because when I was a kid, as soon as I saw the BDUs, I was like, oh, that's like what they're wearing now.
The what?
The BDUs, their uniform. Dusty uniform. I was like, oh, that's close to what they were wearing then. It was the chocolate chip BDUs, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought I was like, oh, so he's like the modern day guy. Like he's above everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I had they made several versions of him, and I made sure, the one that always kind of made me scratch my head, I'm trying to look for my custom Dusty, because I'd say of my many customs, he's like one of my top 3. I love this figure, and it's like having that Dusty I had when I was 10. It's like he has that kind of sentimental value, but I based this Dusty on 1 and 2 versions. 1 and 2. Remember how 2 had the beret?
Yep, the beret. He was like he had like short sleeves, and he came with Sandstorm.
Yep, that like a what kind of bobcat or some weird fucking animal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always found it strange that a guy who clearly had red hair and fair, like, Irish skin was a desert trooper who wore short sleeves.
Yeah.
That's melanoma waiting to happen, dude. He should have been all covered up or constantly spraying on the SPF 50. I don't know.
Pretty much.
I couldn't do that cool. What do you call that mullet helmet? I know there's a real term for it, but I always forget.
Oh, I don't know offhand.
I couldn't do that with him. It's just kind of. It was awesome in the '80s, but it's kind of silly to me now.
I mean, it does from a actual functional standpoint.
It makes perfect sense. If you've ever gotten to sun,
I love the Cobra one so much. Like, to me, like, the Pursuit of Cobra Dusty is like it's close with Shadow Tracker and Pursuit of Cobra Dusty as far as like my favorite. And Pursuit of Cobra is so hard to rank. My God, like, I've done videos ranking it, and I'm just like, every time after I've done the video, the top 10 video, I'm like, I should have changed it.
I would say of the Hasbro made G.I. Joe line, the Pursuit of Cobra were, to me, the finest ones. What do you think?
Yeah, it's hands down the best. I think the best action figures they've ever put out.
Yeah.
That was the peak of Hasbro with G.I. Joe.
Yeah. And if you ever, oh God, if you know, sometimes I'll be wanting to make a Marauder custom, and I'll want a figure from the Pursuit of Cobra line because their accessories were bar none the best. And I'll go to eBay and I'll be like, well, shit, out the door buying this figure, I'm already $50 in. So what are we going to do here? I mean, they're all so expensive because they were that good.
Yeah. Every figure was special. Every figure was special in that line.
Everyone. And more weapons and accessories than you could ever shake a stick. Like, you could never, God, so many.
So many, but they all, the really important part of that, not only did you get a lot, but they all made sense per character. Like, every accessory made sense for the character. It's not like, and they could have just taken a bunch of accessories, thrown them in with anybody, and not made any sense. And but no, whoever did that line, like, they gave a shit. They really gave a shit with that.
Like, I got my Lowlight. These came from the Pursuit of Cobra figure. So he's got his gun is in this bag, and you can take it apart. You can take off the scope. You can take off the stock. You can take off the silencer. I mean, come on. And the backpack has a radio on it and a spotter with a stand and a box full of bullets and a tiny little bullet.
And a teeny little, it's amazing.
Doesn't get better than that. It's just too bad that goddamn figure was designed so that he couldn't hold his sniper rifle.
Yeah, it's kind of the crux, but you know, it's like I said, it's a product of its time. It was 2010. It's 10 years ago already. Holy shit! Like, but at the time, like 2010, like you saw them like 25th anniversary, they were holding them like way out here, and their arms were shit. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Constantly have them in a relaxed pose. Yeah. So, at least with Pursuit of Cobra, they finally got it where it was close enough to here, you know, where they could hold them. Now with Marauders, and like I said, it's action figure evolution, like you said. Yep. Now they can really get like this. So
one of the key deciding factors in me trading over all my Hasbro Joes to Marauder Joes was, number one, the fact that pretty much, I don't know, every single figure can hold a rifle like it's supposed to be held with two hands. And a big key factor, I'm not going to go off camera to get it, but like, I'm a big diehard, total nerd, total geek for ninjas, especially G.I. Joe ninjas, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, the Red Ninjas, all them shits. So having a ninja that can actually hold a sword
two-handed
hands, what a novel fucking concept, since that's how it's supposed to be done. And not a single Hasbro ninja has ever been made to, you know, and all of the Marauders can. So to me, that was kind of like, I gotta admit, that was a huge factor for me to be like, I'm switching over, because if a person, you know, a figure can hold a gun like it's supposed to be held, two hands for realistic, and a sword, if that for no other reason, that was kind of like, well, I got to go this route. So
yep, exactly. I agree 100%. I'm kind of the opposite though when it comes to the ninja stuff. I was like, ninja stuff.
I had a feeling you were going to say that based on your you're kind of, you know, you're on the fence about.
But I mean, it's good. It's all good. I give people like different things. It's you know, to each their own. I get it.
I know you're supposed to be interviewing me, but I kind of wanted to know something.
Sure, ask away.
Ask you?
Yeah, it's open forum.
So I know Dusty, Shadow Tracker.
Okay.
Do you think you can give me your other three of your top five? And I may want even more. I want to know who you got.
Characters or just figures?
No. Base this on everything. Base this on Sunbow cartoon. Did you watch Sunbow, and did you read Marvel Comics?
Yeah, I have the whole run of Marvel.
Okay. Did you get into even like the Devils Do and IDW? Like, I mean, the overall.
Devils Do. Yep.
Okay.
Some IDW, I kind of once Aubrey Sitterson took over, I'm done with this shit.
Okay.
He's a terrible writer.
So base your top five on everything, every figure made, every comic book, every cartoon. Do you think you could tell me your top five?
Well, Dusty's number one. That's an easy question. Number two, now everything. Well, then Shadow Tracker wouldn't be in the top 5 with everything because he's never been in a comic. He's never been on a show. He's never been in a movie. He's essentially was just like the special character for Pursuit of Cobra. That's why I dig him.
Okay.
So it's got to be based on character for me to make the because it's a hard decision to make. It'd probably be Stalker, Hawk, Duke, Dusty, and oh god,
I love asking people this.
it's hard because there's so many.
Because you ask
probably
different answers. Because there's so many cool Joes over history.
Well, I would say 1A, 1B, Spirit, and then Sergeant Airborne. Because Sergeant Airborne was one of my first Joes, too, and he's special to me.
Oh, yeah. With Airborne, with the blue vest.
I always call him Sergeant Airborne because there was that 90s Airborne that came out.
No.
From Sky Patrol.
No. Understand something. I am old school G.I. Joe.
Okay.
There's no shock blast. There's no data frame. It's shockwave.
Really? You don't like any of them?
No. What I mean is, he will always be shockwave to me. I don't care.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
When they did the 25th anniversary, they had to do shock blast because they lost the name on it. Fuck that. He's shockwave to me forever. Mainframe will always be mainframe.
Yeah.
And Airborne. Dude, that was such a cool toy. I had to make a custom. You're gonna like this.
I saw your video on it. Yeah, it looks good.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
I've been watching you for a few years. So.
Oh, no. Yeah. Thanks. I'm sorry I haven't made a video in a long time. I've just it's just got okay. I'll be honest with you. We've all got a house full of people typically because we're in the midst of this COVID bullshit.
Yeah.
When I do the video,
I'll get demonetized.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say that word on YouTube, apparently.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, when I would do my videos, it was when nobody was in the house because I didn't want. I mean, I like to make them short. Short and sweet to the point. You watch it, you get out. I'm not here to give you a fucking diatribe on my figures. Just kind of a brief overview. Here's what it is. Yada yada. 5 minutes, maybe. I think my longest one was like 7 because it was a really detailed figure. Maybe there was 2 in one video. Mm-hmm. But I only like to do them when no one's in the house because I don't want to be interrupted. I don't like to have to go back, and I'm lazy. I don't want to edit it. So, house full of women, wife and daughter. I haven't really been motivated to do another one, and I have 2 or 3 really cool new figures that I could do a video on. But
you can do it, man. You gotta. Sometimes you gotta kick yourself in the ass, and
Yeah. Want to see who's not been done? You're not going to see it. I mean, here. Wait.
Oh, okay, we got gung ho. Nice.
No, look closer.
Oh, it's Leatherneck.
Got hair. Yep.
Looks good.
Oh, that light sucks. Well, he's not okay.
I got one for you. This is what I've been working on for a little bit.
Ooh, let's see. I want to see. I like looking at other customizers' work. I get inspired.
It's an update for him. For me, I always like to do kind of that Pursuit of Cobra-esque, that kind of the little hint of like the vintage with Pursuit of Cobra, but you still get the same aesthetics.
Totally.
So here we have. It's probably not coming up the best in the camera because the camera's wanting to focus on me. So maybe I'll just do this. But
okay, I can't tell the color.
He's like a beige. I gave him this backpack and
that backpack is awesome
and everything.
That gun is sick.
It's Grunt. It's my update for Grunt. Look, I even kind of updated him where he's got gray hair because he's older. He's like an older Grunt.
Nice.
So I feel like Grunt gets no love. Like everyone just army builds Grunt,
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, he needs an update. So
I
I was
went.
like,
I love Grunt because, of course, as any decent customizer who's a Joe fan, you should make your own OG-13 to pay homage. And I went in a different direction with Grunt. I made my Grunt very, like he doesn't look like every figure. He's not somebody I could army build. He's unique, and I don't know if you can see him because our cameras aren't great. But what I did to get a Grunt here, he has a saw. First of all, he's got a kick-ass gun. Because I always thought Grunt was a cool figure.
yeah.
But how will you see this? You can't see this.
Yeah, okay. Just bring it up to the camera one. There you go. That's better. Oh yeah, he's got the chops on the side.
Yep. You know what I did? Did you ever see or collect the Marvel Universe 4-inch line?
I dabbled here and there. I didn't really get into it too much, but
you remember, it existed.
yes.
I took the Punisher head from that, added some sideburns and a little scar down one of his eyes. Because what was one thing I always remembered about Grunt, which I always liked, is that figure always looked kind of pissed.
Yeah, pissed off.
So I thought, you know what, this Punisher head, that's my Grunt right there.
Yeah,
he looks kind of like.
Yeah, Grunt looked like he was like a little nuts.
Right.
He kind of had to be. I feel like
that's my Grunt head because the 25th anniversary Grunt was like totally, and I get what they're doing. His name is Grunt. He's not meant to be really unique or individual, but no, all the OG-13 for me were special, unique, had their own personalities, they should have their own aesthetics. And when recreating them, I wanted to make each one of them unique and slightly different, slightly similar, but slightly different.
Different, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, to me, this Grunt right here, he's in charge of all the Steel Brigaders and all the Joe Troopers.
Nice.
He's their drill instructor. He's their head honcho. He's like it's like his sub team. So for me, that Grunt that I just made right here, that's what he's doing now because he's grizzled. He's a veteran and he's been around. He's been in the game a long time. So
see this right here. This in a nutshell is why I will always say this is why G.I. Joe took off. This is why G.I. Joe took off more than any other toy line of its type, of its kind in history, because what we are just describing right here and right now, regardless of the Sunbow cartoon storyline, regardless of the Marvel comic storyline, no matter how rich and detailed and revered by us it was, every collector has their own Joe-verse where, I see somebody, where each figure can be something unique and different to them. And how many toy lines can do that? I mean, Ninja Turtles, Leonardo is Leonardo. I'm sorry. It's always going to be Leonardo. He's nobody different. But in G.I. Joe, man, every single collector, lover, aficionado has kind of a built-in storyline in their head.
Sure.
Where my Grunt is not your Grunt and your Grunt is not mine. But we still love Grunt.
Yeah.
And the others. So that's why I'll always say, like, why do you love G.I. Joe so much? Because it captured the imagination and creativity of 7-year-old me.
Sure.
And a 45-year-old me is still.
Yeah. And while a lot of people have their own Joe verses and they have their own character backstories, while they still have the meat and potatoes of the file card, you could expand on that because we all know when G.I. Joe initially came out in '82, it was supposed to come out in the 70s, and it got delayed because of The Empire Strikes Back. And then what happened was, we all know this story. We all know it was delayed, and it came out before the comic was even out.
Yeah, just watch
before the show was out, and all you had was the file cards.
Yeah.
So you had that, a whole year before the cartoon came out to kind of build your own Joe.
Absolutely.
And that's the way it's kind of always been, while you had the comics and you have that canon material too. I just always made mine. I never really went by the canon.
It's a great toy for creative people. That's what I'll always say. Like the people I've known that have been the most into it and got the most out of it are inherently pretty creative people. And it just fosters creativity. It encourages it. It thrives on it. I thought I was going to get a visitor too.
We do have a couple questions from. Oh, hold on. I don't want to ignore the chat. I
didn't even. I can't see it. You can see it. That's cool.
I can see it. Yeah. So I'm sorry to everybody. Bonebur. Good night, Bonebur. I don't know if I'm saying your name right because I had never say names right because I'm. But he asked, "What do we feel? How do you feel about the 6-inch Valaverse Action Force figures? Do you see those yet?
What?
The 6-inch Valaverse. They're like essentially the same thing as the 6-inch Joes that are coming out. They're just made by a different company called Valaverse Toys, and they're making they're called Action Force is the name of the line. It's got nothing to do with the Battle Action Force that was overseas. That was essentially did turn into GI Joe.
Right.
You called it Action Force overseas. There was Action Force overseas and then GI Joe here.
Yeah.
But it's kind of its own thing, and they're kind of creating their own universe now, which is pretty cool. And I think they had a Kickstarter last year started. But he was asking what we thought about those. If you haven't checked them out, I think they have them up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store.
Hey, anything that I can incorporate, I'm all about. If they have a cool aesthetic, if they look like they would live in that universe well, I'm all about it. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, about 7 ninjas from a line called Articulated Icons.
Yeah.
And 2 samurais. I'm big on Japanese culture and ninjas and samurais since I was a little kid, so those really caught my attention. But I got them, I've had them, and I even put custom Cobra sigils on them. Like, have the Storm Shadow. I'm sure you've probably seen pictures online. There's a white ninja they made. I mean, they're making a white fucking ninja. Of course, they want you to buy it and turn it into Storm Shadow. But I got it, and he's sitting right there on my shelf, and he's waiting to get photographed with Snake Eyes. I cannot wait. It chaps my hide that some people got their Snake Eyes early, and they already had their articulated.
Some people have the whole wave already.
Dude, I've seen pictures of people putting their white Articulated Icons Ninja Storm Shadow with their new Snake Eyes, and I'm like, that's what me, dude.
You're like, what the heck? How did you get that already?
Yep, I'm very jealous. But yeah, like anything that can fit, because look, we're only going to get 5 Joes and 1 Cobra in this new with this new line. And if you have other cool 6-inch figures, like I'll be honest, once I get mine, I know for a fact that I'm going to be shooting pictures of them with my Marvel Legends. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not going to take a picture of Snake Eyes with Deadpool. It's crazy not to.
Yeah.
If they fit, they fit.
I like them. I think the designs, what was it? Condor, the one design from the Action Force line looks to me like Sergeant Airborne, 1983, with a modern update. Like he's got the blue, a little bit of blue on his chest for his tack vest. He comes with I think it's a backpack with a. No, he does. Yeah, he does come with a backpack, which kind of looks like a parachute a little bit. Oof. I know he's technically not a paratrooper. He's a helicopter.
Close enough.
Pilot slash, support gunner, artillery guy.
It works.
It works. It totally works. But he also comes with the helmet with a microphone. He comes with the right rifle for himself. So it looks just like Sergeant Airborne for me. So I had to jump all over that.
How big is that one? What inch?
They're 6-inch figures.
Oh.
Yeah.
What toy line is this?
It's called Action Force by Valaverse.
Dude, you gotta text me or Facebook.
I'll send you a link when we get off of here on Facebook Messenger.
I feel I try to stay abreast of what I think I'd be into in the toy world, but there's always something I'm missing.
It's okay. It's
And you guys, but just guys like you,
there's constantly stuff coming out like every other day. It's like there's always something to do every day.
You got all these micro companies and they're doing Kickstarters. It's hard to keep tabs on everything that's out, but that's why I have guys like you to help me out with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. It's my lot in life. What else? What are the best brands for Army figures right now in our opinion?
The best brands for Army figures?
Yeah.
Well, are we talking
right now?
4-inch or 6-inch or what?
I guess he's just talking in general, but I think he means 4-inch.
Other than Marauder Task Force. Fuck, dude.
Marauder Task Force.
I had to work for that company. I mean, God damn it, they're just far and away.
I would love to work for them.
Right? I mean, I try to promote their business as much as I can for the simple fact is I never want them to go anywhere, because the longer they're around, the more I can buy their awesome toys and make cool customs and have my basically relive the best toys of my youth.
Absolutely.
Honestly, dude, what was the name of the person that asked that question?
Bonaber. Boonaber? I think it's Boonaber. Boonber or Boonber. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he also has Marauders Vietnam figures. I keep hearing about that. There's a moth flying around me. I keep hearing about that, and nothing seems to come of it. I wish they had, as opposed to the World War II figures. That did almost nothing for me. I just don't
really. Oh man, I've been using a ton of their parts.
Maybe you can inspire me, because maybe it's a lack of vision. I just didn't. But I'm a Joe recreator. I'm always recreating my Joes, and the only thing I saw that would be good for those is I wanted to make a custom Destro out of the black German soldier.
Yeah.
And then when I went to literally purchase it and make a custom Destro, it was sold out.
Yeah, but they're gonna be restocking in July. That's what they sent out an email to a bunch of customers, and they put it on their Facebook page that they're going to be restocking in July. Everything got pushed back because of the horse shit going on. Also, they had a pre-order for those different colored, like the red T-shirts and the blue T-shirts, and then the camo pants for the contract ops figures. That got pushed back. Those were supposed to come out in, I think, February, and they got pushed back because of the whole overseas thing, and then the bullshit happening.
I gotta ask. I'm glad this came up, because I was trying to make a mental note that I wanted to ask you in case you heard anything. So July, because dude, I have parts fucking sitting in drawers in my garage to make customs with that have been there for the better part of a year. I have parts to make an entire squad of Red Ninjas. I have parts to make probably 3 or 4 really cool Pursuit of Cobra inspired customs that I haven't been able to make because the website has just not been stocked. So I wanted to ask you, you heard July?
July, August. They said midsummer. They've said like July, August a couple times with a few things. So just keep your hopes up. Also, check the website daily.
Oh, I do.
They restock stuff without telling people, and I check it every day.
Yeah,
I check just to see what's available. Yeah. Like they'll restock all the brown bodies. They'll restock the tan and camo bodies. They'll restock those even though they're out of stock. So if it says out of stock, and they're also doing the geared up ones, which is actually not a bad deal. You don't have to do it for the character, but I use some of the parts because a lot of those parts are sold out on their website, but they still use those parts with the geared up ones.
Agreed.
There's also new parts that are featured with like what was it? Their version of Mutt that was all geared up.
Yeah.
With the, I think it was like a, you know how Mutt's got that like
The dog bite. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a new piece. That's a new mold. And I'm assuming that was supposed to be coming with the pre-ordered figures that got pushed back. So maybe they got some pieces early and they put them with an all geared up figure, but the only way to get those pieces is with that figure. So it might not be within, your budget to spend $21 on a figure, but you could always use those pieces in the future. That's the best thing about Marauder. So even if you get a bunch of stuff that you don't need, you could use it in the future for something else,
Yeah, no, I pretty much assume that if I'm going to make a custom, it's going like my baseline is like it's going to be 30 because so many of
that's usually what my budget is for a custom.
Yeah, a real good geared up. I mean, geared up, not just. I don't do a bare bones figure because if I was to look at it, I'd be like, he needs this, he needs that, she needs this, she needs that to be complete. So just drop the 30, make them geared up, make them complete, and then they're awesome. It's kind of been putting it. It's kind of been putting a dent in my wallet. I'm not going to lie. I have this, like my action figure collection. I'll tell you the truth is all purchased, and it's expensive. It's purchased with side hustle money.
Yeah.
I don't spend my paycheck, my work wages on action figures, and I never really have. So, one good source of funds for a side hustle that's kind of kept me in action figures is I have a couple of clients that have me make them pretty much Marauder customs.
Mm-hmm.
And with them being so out of stock on 85% of their variety, I haven't really been able to make as many as I should be able to.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You're being patient, and that's a smart. You're a smart buyer. You wait until you get exactly what you want, and then you buy. So I don't blame you.
I have one really good loyal client who's had me make many, and he has many more he wants me to make him. And we've discussed, like, he'll want a specific figure, like he wants me to make him this specific Dusty you'll appreciate.
Okay.
And the body they have on the website now, they don't even have a tan anymore, huh? I don't think they have the
regular tan or the.
I think they have the camo tan. And he was like,
the camo tan.
Yeah, and he was like, no, I like the camo tan you made because I took a regular tan and painted my own brown spots. And he was like, honestly, I like yours more. I'm willing to wait.
Okay.
It's like, well, fuck. I mean, I could buy you the camo tan body and make it now. He's like, no, I like yours better. Okay, I appreciate that. You're gonna have to wait, but I tell you, man, once they restock, dude, make money and spend money like a motherfucker. It'll be fuck, dude.
Yep. There are also what was it? I got tickets to Joe Fest, and hopefully by September. They initially it was supposed to be next month, end of June. That right. The bullshit happened, went on, and states are just reopening, so they pushed it back to September. I thought they were going to cancel it, and I was like, because Marauders is going to be there, and they're going to do a special event. So it's in West Georgia.
You know what that means you need to do?
What?
You need to send me pictures when you go there, or live stream, or send me video or something, because I'm all the way the fuck out on the West Coast, and I can never go to Joe Fest because it's always way out on your side of the country. Yeah. I never get to go to it. I get to go to these little mini rinky-dink bullshit fests that they have out here that don't even compare. But oh my god! And then I'm always like, once I know it's happening, I'm on my phone trying to see what people are posting because I can't go to that.
Well, you got SDCC though, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think they go. What other? I'm trying to think of what other.
Their GI Joe. Well, maybe this year it would have been a bit different if they had it. I don't think they're going to have it this year, but it might have been this year. But if GI Joe doesn't have something pretty exciting going on, they have virtually no presence at San Diego Comic-Con. And San Diego Comic-Con,
Well, it was canceled. It got canceled.
Yeah, I figured. So. It's like trying to walk through a jar of peanut butter. It's that crowded. Last time I went, I was like, I need 3 more years. I need a 3-year break from this shit. It's not even really that fun because you realize how many nerdy things you're not into unless you're. It's just too much.
Yeah, I went to New York. I went to the New York one, and I was like, "Get me the fuck out of here!" I spent 3 hours in line to meet Stan Lee for 30 seconds. Like, I was like, "This is not for me. I can't do this shit."
And he's
like, get me the hell out of this.
Yeah, and he's the ultimate. But I don't know about 3 hours for. And you're probably being generous by saying 30 seconds. It was probably more like 8.
It was like, here, stand here. I had a Buffalo Bills, because I'm originally from Buffalo. I live in South Carolina now, but I had a Buffalo Bills shirt on. He goes, "Oh, go Bills." And I was like, "You're a fan?" And he's like, "Yeah, I like him." I was like, "Aren't you wouldn't you be a Giants fan?"
Yeah.
But we had a 2-second conversation, and that was that. And off you go. Goodbye. So it just, I was like, yeah. And that was years ago. I think, what was it? I went 2013 when I went. So that was a long time ago.
At least you got to meet him. That's kind of a regret of mine that I never got to meet him. I'm a fucking diehard Marvel for life guy since, childhood, and he's the man. So
I'm both. I like DC. I'm more of a DC guy, but I like both. I'm not one of those people that, pick a side. Obviously, people like what they like. I like both. It's like, why not like both?
Why not? It's all comics and superheroes.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I like the smaller cons feel more important to me.
Yeah,
they feel more intimate. I feel like the prices aren't as crazy as like the bigger cons that I've been to with some of the vendors. Trying to find comics a little bit cheaper at the more local, smaller conventions, at least on the East Coast for me. I don't know how it is on the West Coast though.
I don't know. Every small con I've been to on this side, it's like you're not getting a deal.
Really?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I went to a toy con recently.
If you need any of the Marauders new stuff, just hit me up, or I'll text you when I'm down there at Joe Fest, and I'll pick you some stuff up.
I'm getting a little dizzy right now when you say that. Oh.
It's not till September, so you don't have to go to the cardiac arrest yet.
I'm waiting so long. I need black bodies. I need blue bodies. I need red bodies. I need gray camo bodies. I need pretty much like I need a bunch of black bodies, like badly, for a bunch of different customs. I think I have like one left, and it's driving me nuts. I'm like, oh, which character do I use this on? Well, I found that kind of light green that they don't seem to run out of. That makes a great stalker.
It does. I mean, you can work with those, and they don't have. I think they have an abundance of them because not a lot of people bought them. But if you're looking to make an OG-13, that's the body to use.
That's the color too. Yeah.
That's the color. That's the body to use. Go nuts.
I'll pull up yojo.com and gaze longingly at the pictures of the old figures, and I'll work with my camo paint, and I'll do as many mixed colors as it takes to get that camo splotch right, like my ripcord, like this color. Can you see this? Painted on him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's like a mixture of 4 greens and 2 blues.
Okay.
But it's got to look like the original, and I have my stalker. I based it on the OG. Oh, here he is. He is that light green. Can you see his camo paint?
Yeah.
I tried to get it as close to the original one as possible, but it's literally like a mixture of green and blue.
Yeah.
My wife is
That's
texting me.
good to know.
So, yeah, where were we?
So you asked me my top 5. I still
Yes, you didn't answer.
what the? Oh yeah, I gave you my 5th, which was actually
Oh.
6 of them because I can never stay on task. I mixed Spirit and Airborne together. They were sharing the spot.
You have an affinity for the Native Americans, huh?
I do. I have a great respect for their culture.
Very cool. So then let me ask you, because my custom Spirit looks nothing like the fucking original, I'm just going to say it, Village People Reject that we got with Hasbro. Mine was more designed to resemble Billy from Predator, I'm not going to lie. I don't really like the look of the old Spirit. I don't
like it either. I think it looks fucking ridiculous. Let's be honest.
Okay, let's call it like it is. Yeah.
So
mine's militaristic. He looks like Billy from Predator.
So is mine. Mine has got touches. It doesn't look anything like the 25th anniversary release. It doesn't look anything like the 80s release. It looks more like I'm using the Billy head. You know, It just looks more like real deal to me. You know, the 25th anniversary head looks, I don't know,
terrible.
Like the 80s. It looks like the 80s.
The head looks like somebody
smushed it.
It looks short a few chromosomes, is what it looks. Fuck, it looks like Toy Biz Marvel Legends. It looks like shit.
Oh,
sorry.
Well, I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
I fucking hate Toy Biz Marvel Legends. I'm so glad Hasbro took that over. Oh my god. Yeah. So it looked the 25th head looked like wrong.
Yeah, it looks weird. There's a bunch of 25th anniversary heads that look weird. They look a little off.
The Billy head is that a Pursuit of Cobra?
Yeah, it was Pursuit of Cobra and then they reused it for 50th anniversary release.
Yeah.
And then they reused it. They used it for Pursuit of Cobra. Then they used it for the Slaughter's Marauders pack. And then
and much darker skin.
Yeah, he had darker skin in the 30th anniversary one.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
that's the one with the tan and the brown.
Right.
I don't know if they reused it after that. I don't think they did.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, that's a good figure, and the Airborne's cool too. What this guy Tim Casa?
I just finished my custom Airborne, so that's the next video that I was alluding to. I didn't want to let people know because I try to let people guess while I'm creating the figure because I do it live. So I'm like, okay, guess who I'm making, and I'll put all the parts out in front, and then I start putting them together, and people are guessing while I'm putting them together.
I like that.
Yeah.
You may have given me an idea. You got to spice things up. I mean, I steal from people all the time. I mean,
hey, do your thing, man. You know,
right? This guy, somebody named Tim Casa says he believes Hasbro is going back to 3.75-inch vintage O-rings.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
I'll believe that when I see it. I can't imagine why they do that.
I don't. If it's not modern, I don't give a shit. I'm passing on all of those.
Ditto. Wouldn't buy those.
What was it? Let's see. Oh, so you asked me my top 5. What's your top 5 Joes?
Oh, shit. I asked you the question without any actual preparation of answering it myself. This guy named Gaz says my work is masterful. Thank you, Gaz. We have talked. I think I may have sold you a figure. You're the man.
Gaz is a good guy.
Yeah, Gaz. I think he bought a figure off of me. Top 5 Snake Eyes. Sorry, had to do it. Top 5 Joes or Cobra mix? No, let's just do Joes.
Yeah, we'll do Cobra next.
Snake Eyes, Dusty, Ripcord. Dial tone.
Wow, dial tone.
Love me some dial tone. Dark horse in the mix right there. No one puts dial tone in their top 5. Does anybody even know what a dial tone is nowadays?
I don't think so. I don't think they even understand the reference.
Yeah, ask a millennial to tell you what a dial tone sounds like, and they'll look at you like you're high.
What?
Shit, I'm narrowing it down. I'm a big Scarlet fan. Flint and Duke. Fuck, man. Oh God, this is hard.
It's tough.
Hard. Stalker. Shit, I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, but I could definitely name 4. Footloose too. God damn, I love Footloose and Lieutenant Falcon. I really liked those old.
Wow, Falcon. That's a rarity. Most people hate his ass.
Fuck that shit, dude. I mean, I understand that the character in the movie was kind of a
dipshit.
Yeah, kind of a douche, but
moron.
Well, Don Johnson voiced him. Yeah, but the figure.
The figure is great. The figure is great.
He looked like something out of Platoon.
Yeah.
So cool, and that's kind of what
I mean. Of a Green Beret. He looked just like he needed to.
Yeah.
He looked perfect.
The G.I. Joe movie for me is not. I got to say, it's not too terribly big of an influence on my like or dislike of characters or my storylines or my imagination. This may be kind of blasphemous, but for me, the G.I. Joe movie is not a high point for me.
No, that's okay.
Cobra Law.
Oh, I love Cobra Law. I eat that shit up.
Do you? Ooh, just never.
Oh yeah, it's the evolution. It's the evolution of Cobra, because really, when you think about it from a production standpoint, right, with Cobra, everything had been done with Cobra before. Where were they gonna go?
To ancient race of snake monsters that have been on Earth since the fucking moon cooled?
It's no different from Wonder Woman and Themyscira. It's been there forever. People didn't know. It's the same thing. Same concept. People dig that. What's the difference, right?
You have a point. I don't know. No, not into Cobra Law.
It's the same thing with Dr. Doom and Latveria.
Yeah, right.
Same point.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's hard to. Typically, my top 5 will be like, other than Snake Eyes, will be like the more real militaristic looking ones, and then have a soft spot in my heart for sci-fi.
Yeah.
On the hate, that's fine.
Well, the only reason I think it works so well, and I've said this before, is because you go back to that tech versus organic. Cobra Law is the organic, and you've got G.I. Joe using their tech. Who's going to win? So that's what made it so interesting for me. You got like a fucking guy with wings that's like huge, like 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall, and it's like, how do you beat him? You get Sergeant Slaughter to beat his ass. It just made a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, it was it's a Sumbo cartoon. It's gonna be a little cheesy, but the stakes were raised with the movie. So there's certain aspects of the movie where I get why people don't like it, and I get why people maybe didn't like Cobra Law because it came out of nowhere. And I think when people went to go see the movie, they weren't expecting a Cobra Law. They were expecting G.I. Joe versus Cobra, and that's something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
And you brought up another. I mean, everybody has their things in Joe, no matter how much you love it. They tried so many different things over essentially the 12-year initial run.
Mm-hmm.
That not everything, I think, stuck with everybody. Like for me, Raptor. Not a huge fan of that fucking bird guy, Crystal Ball. But these are all
thing. That's the thing. Like, none of those guys really did anything.
No, nobody likes these. But you know who was probably the figure and character that I disliked most?
What?
You named him.
Shadow Tracker?
No, Sergeant fucking Slaughter.
Really? You don't like the Sarge?
Hate him.
Oh man, I was a big wrestling fan when I was a kid. I still am. But I still when Sergeant Slaughter showed up, like the show Superstars, the wrestling show Superstars would come on in the morning, and then right after that, G.I. Joe would come on. So I was like, what? I get to watch Sergeant Slaughter twice in one day?
Something about it just never. Maybe it was the fact that like he was drawn on GI Joe and his figure was just so fucking yoked and swole and buff. And let's be honest, man, Sergeant Slaughter never had a body better than my dad. Oof.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. He's a big dude, but he was just built different. He was a thick dude.
Never really got that. Bazooka. Hate that figure. Just
I hate him because he's a Patriots fan. That's why.
Patriots fan and dumb as a rock, right?
Stupid, but he died anyway, so.
Oh, that's right.
He died anyway.
Did you see? You must have seen Resolute, right?
Yes.
Storm Shadow killed him in that, right?
Yep.
That was rad.
It was pretty awesome. Resolute's so good. Resolute. Not enough people talk about Resolute. That movie is just fantastic.
Highly underrated.
More with it, and they just dropped the ball.
Yeah, that should have been a series or multiple movies. I don't know. That was fantastic. That's a high point for me. Yeah, good stuff.
The Pro says Slaughter and the Fridge. The Fridge was trash. I'm sorry.
Trash.
I was like, nah. No.
I got him and Big Bo one year for Christmas, and I was like, do you know me? Big Bo. Not a fan of that. I took his gloves off, though. His gloves were kind of cool. He looked like boxing gloves with a cobra sigil on it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, here's another thing I was never into, for the most part. Other than Zartan. Love Zartan. Never really cared for the Dreadnoks. Is that weird?
No, you know what? I'm kind of the same way. Like, I feel like if they just would have had Zartan and maybe like Buzzer and Torch and maybe Zorana, I would have been fine with that. Just a little small crew of them.
Or like the first three.
Yeah. When I got you got like 15 of them now, and they're all kind of just mirrors of each other. They're different by this much. It's like it's ridiculous, and they're inept. Like except for Zartan, I want to say all their weapons are like there's no match for the Joes with those weapons.
Oh, they're all like Florida white trash. Like just
I
never got that. But I love Zartan. My Zartan custom, I'd say, is probably one of my top 5 customs I'm most proud of and most like. But always liked Zartan. I remember having the original Zartan whose skin would change color in the sun. Fuck, that was cool.
Yep.
But yeah, not a fan of the Dreadnoks.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't go out of my way to really like. I have what was it? I ended up getting that what was it? The Big Bad Toy Store exclusive set of the Dreadnoks because they were on sale at one time. They're sold out now. They've been sold out for years, but I think that set came out 2010 or 11. Anyway, but it was just sitting. Both that and the Marauder set was sitting and just chilling on Big Bad Toy Store forever. They dropped down to $25, and I was like, "Yup, I'm buying that."
Yeah, now
$25 is worth the price now. So I got the set, so I have a bunch of them, but it's only because they were $25. I had no inkling to go out of my way to get them.
Yeah, no, I would do it for that, if only to have fodder or I'd take a picture of them. It'd probably be cool.
Exactly. Yeah. The only one I think I had was I think it was Thrasher, I think it was Thrasher, the one that came with the vehicle.
Oh yeah, that Mad Max looking vehicle, and he had like stripes in his hair.
Yeah.
I think I had him and liked him because that vehicle, that was straight up, dude. I even read an article and something like that vehicle was straight up Mad Max inspired 100%.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And that was cool.
I mean, all the Dreadnoks are essentially, Mad Max inspired. But yeah, definitely. I think they went a little overboard with some of the characters.
Yeah, it's like you're like in 20 deep on the dreadnoughts, and it's like, all right, how many of these weirdos can you make? How many kooky weapons and stupid haircuts can we have? Ugh.
Exactly. And torn jeans. How many torn jeans can you give us?
Torn jeans.
They're going through torn jeans like it's no joke.
I think Lowlight could be my number 5 now that I'm thinking about it.
What?
Something about snipers I've always found very interesting and very.
Oh, yeah.
I've tried to collect every G.I. Joe sniper, and I'm trying. My goal once they replenish the black suits, the black figure, I'm dying to make a. The Cobra sniper was Blackout.
Yeah.
Whose brother was Barrel Roll.
Yeah, Barrel Roll. They were in Devil's Due.
Yes, I'm a fan of that. I got a Barrel Roll. I got a at one of the last conventions I went to. I got a modern glider. Here. Do you remember these?
Yeah. Yep. I got one of those from the Rise of Cobra line.
Okay, cool. So because I was digging on them in the early 2000s, and got this in a pack. I think it came with Grand Slam. I don't know why, but
that's weird.
So I made a modern blue and gray version of Barrel Roll, and I want to make the Blackout his brother, the sniper.
Yeah,
that'll be exciting.
I've been looking to make a blue version. I have the direct to consumer version. I did a custom of.
Really?
The one that not a lot of people like. It's the tan and the brown one.
I love that one.
People don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. I got the FSS one because I got it so cheap at when it just dropped because no one liked it. And I get why people don't like it because it's got some issues. But he can two-hand his weapon, which is fine. But the custom I made was based on the FSS one.
Oh, okay.
So, but it looks so much better when I got done.
Video of it?
Yeah, there's a video up of him.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I want to see it.
What else? Oh, so I completely forgot. I got to go back and change my top 5. I just realized.
Who'd you forget?
Beachhead and Lowlight. This is what happens every time. I do a top 5 or a top 10, and
you got to do a top 10.
I forget. Someone's got to drop out of the cut, and I'm like, I can't not take this person. It's so tough.
The 25th anniversary Beachhead who came with the unmasked head.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is maybe my favorite 25th anniversary figure ever.
Yeah, it's such a good one.
The proportions were perfect. He held his weapon wonderfully. He came with that great backpack that had the detachable crossbow and the ammo belt with a magazine that comes out of it. Oh, what a great figure. I use his unmasked head for my Marauder custom.
Yeah, it's such a good with the unmasked head and then the masked head.
Yeah,
it's so well done.
When I make a Marauder custom that's based on a G.I. Joe that had a mask on all the time, I always buy a head that you can take that off of because I love being able to see a masked figure without the mask on. Because who wants to sport that mask all the time? Like, there's another weird thing I thought about the G.I. Joe movies is like, what, Beachhead wears that fucking mask 24/7? He wears that mask while he's drilling his cadets. Like, he never takes that fucking mask off. Like, who is he, Snake Eyes?
Yeah.
You need to let your hair.
He'd be like claustrophobic by the time he's taking. Holy shit.
Yeah, totally. So I always give my mask figures like Shockwave or Beachhead or no, I was gonna say Blowtorch, but his helmet was removable. Who else was a figure that came with a mask that never took it off, other than Snake Eyes? Duh, obviously.
Destro?
No, I'm thinking more of Joe's because the Cobras wouldn't remove their mask. It was par for the course, but like a Joe with a mask, why did they?
Mean with Joe's because I don't think they wanted Joe's to look evil.
Right.
That was their whole point, and that's why we got like a couple.
Yeah, that was.
Who the hell else has a mask? I want to kick myself later and be like, "Oh, that was obvious. Why didn't I think of that one?"
Wide scope. The The other.
Oh yeah, Shockwave.
Yeah, those two guys.
But those were all balaclavas. You know, it's like they were all kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, yeah, I made them without. I bought definitely wanted a unmasked head.
I do that. I do the same thing because I'm a big fan of paratroopers. So what I do is because a lot of the modern paratroopers came with like an unmasked or the helmet that you could put over the head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I started using some of the Marauders heads and integrating those. So what I did was because the helmets don't fit over the Marauders heads because they're a little bit larger, a little bit better in scale.
Yeah.
I just put a balaclava head in there and I just swapped the heads.
Oh, nice.
So I keep the balaclava head in the mask the whole time, and then I just swap the head so it fits perfectly.
I love it. It's like real customizers and fans like you and I. We all have our little tricks of the trade. Like I have a million of those too. That's so funny. You think you have all these little tricks to do things to make the aesthetic look the way you want, and it's like, yeah, everybody. We all have. That's funny. Well, I think I'm losing my voice here.
You want to call it quits?
Yeah.
All right.
I think we've gotten into it pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. This is a lot of fun to do. We should do this again.
What
I'd like to do is I'd like to get a bunch of different content creators together and kind of do like a round table, and we all just shoot the shit. And we don't necessarily have to talk only G.I. Joe. We could talk about Marvel Legends. We could talk about whatever, NECA stuff. Like you brought up, you love NECA stuff. I love NECA stuff. Don't get me started on all the Predators. Oh my God, I love them. They're amazing figures, awesome detail.
Yeah, they're cool, man. They're horror. I'm a big horror movie fan.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Me too. Big.
Well, I had to get all like. To me, they're horror movie legends. The icons like the Michael Myers, the Fred Krueger, the Jason Voorhees. So I have let's see how many of those. Six of them, yeah. And people say, are you going to get the Sam from Trick or Treat? And I'm like, no, man. I kind of awesome legends. I don't fucking add that guy to it. You know what I mean?
If you want to see a really messed up horror movie and not know anything about it before you go and just watch it, watch the movie Society. If you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't. Society.
It's a little bit lower budget, but you just got to watch it. It's just one of those H.P. Lovecraft movies.
Where can I get it? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure you can find it. It might be on the Shudder app. I don't know. Or you can probably find the DVD either on eBay or Amazon. I'm sure you'd be able to find it. But it's just called Society, and it's just something you have to experience without knowing anything about it.
Okay, I'll look it up. The biggest giant black beetle just flew into my garage. I should probably wrap it up and close the door. It's now very dark, and I'm a giant light beacon to every weird flying bug out in the world.
Well, all right. Well, I think we'll call it quits here, and we'll let you get away from the bugs and.
Yeah, dude. It's like fucking toys, man. Ew, get out of my house, dude. Dude, it's huge. Ugh.
Is it like a cicada?
Maybe. Well, I don't know. Do we have those in Southern California?
I don't know. I have no idea. We have them down in South Carolina. I know that.
It's crawling under my DeLorean.
Run it over.
Yeah. Put it inside it and send it back to 1985.
Yeah, for real.
Jackass. All right, dude. We should do this again.
Absolutely. We absolutely should, and we will.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me, ActionFigureJunky. Do you want to let people know where they can find you?
Oh yeah, you can find me on pretty much every social platform. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, everywhere. Just look up ActionFigureJunky. I pretty much. Oh, and on YouTube, of course, where I should be posting more videos. I'll get them. I'll get to them. But yeah, that's where I do my action figure photography and and custom action figure videos and whatnot. So yeah, that's why you're talking to me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
Action figure lovers.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. But this was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I'm sure we have much more to talk about in the future with a lot of these lovely plastic things that we enjoy.
Lovely.
But thanks everybody for joining. I'll just give a shout out, say thank you to everybody. I know there's a lot of you in the chat today, and I appreciate that. And yet again, thanks to ActionFigureJunky for hanging out with me. And like I said, hopefully we can do this again. I'm sure we will. And you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.
Keep it real.